Welcome back to our metal journey. I'm Brad.
I'm Alena.
If you're new here, we like to do a deep dive into the lyrics at the end, so make sure you stick around for that discussion.
If you would like to support us, check out our Patreon tiers. You can find the link in the description below.
You can also find our Discord server and Twitter handle. So we are doing Deftones for the first time. This is a song called Change in the House of Flies. And this is...
Poetic. Sounds poetic. I like it already.
This is one of my favorite songs of all time.
Okay, so I'm not allowed to not like it.
No.
Is it a warning?
I'll put the microphone through your head if you don't like the song.
Okay.
So,
good that I said that I already like it. See?
I had this song on a CD when I was about 12 or 13 years old.
Why do you mention that? So that people know how old you are.
Yeah. So there was a compilation disc called Wired Up, and I'm wondering if anyone else had Wired Up. And it had some punk rock, some alternative rock, and some metal. And so this was the first Deftones song I heard as a result. Also, first Slipknot song I ever heard was on there.
And so you were quite young.
Yeah.
Okay, so it shouldn't be too heavy then.
No, it's not that heavy.
See, you already made so many deductions about the song.
And so this was the start. This was one of the most important songs, I would say, in me getting into metal.
Okay, let's hear it.
I watched you change.
Well, I did like it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I liked mostly the manner of singing.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even singing at times. It was sort of like speaking and making like, I don't know, long phrases. I don't know how to describe it actually. It was just making the word really, really long, not by singing it, but by just pronouncing it very slowly. And I don't know, it just sets this mood of sort of laziness and emptiness and like and something never ending and quite tiresome. So I do like how it is added to the whole how it creates the atmosphere in the song, and I think it goes also well with the video, although I can't quite say what was like the idea of the video, but in terms of the atmosphere it did create, like showing all this junk on the floor, which I don't like.
Clean freak OCD.
And wearing those masks and sort of movements that seemed useless. And the characters in the video, they're sort of dressed up for something, but nothing is happening. So it also felt like everything is out of place and makes you shiver how strange it is. So it did felt sort of familiar. I don't know. I can't even tell what it reminds me of, but it definitely does remind me of something. I think it would be a little bit like 3 Days Grace manner of singing and stuff, something like that. It didn't feel at all heavy. So, but I did like that part that was comparatively heavier, like with what was it, bass guitars and stuff.
Yeah, where it was like there was like no instruments, and then it sort of had a bit of a drop there.
Yeah, I did like it actually. I think what I liked the most was that drop, that sort of like every verse was like climbing the cliff, and then it would just fall, and then again, and then just fall. Which I did enjoy.
Yeah, I've always found it to have a very dark atmosphere to it. So I don't know the music video that well because, so as I said, I had this on a CD that I would play on my Discman, as a kid, and then at a later point in time, when was it like LimeWire and Kazaa and all these like peer-to-peer like piracy sites. Like I got a whole bunch of Deftones that way back in the day. So like I'm pretty sure this all predates YouTube. And if YouTube existed, I definitely didn't have fast enough internet for YouTube. So like this was my early music, was all of this with no music video. So as many times as I've heard this, actually watching the music video, that was kind of new to me. But anyway, my point is, even without the music video, and as you say, like the emptiness and the sort of pointlessness of everything, just the song alone feels so dark and atmospheric. They do such a good job of creating atmosphere.
Yeah, I agree. It does have a dark, depressive feeling. So should we talk about lyrics?
Okay. What do you have? And I mean, you don't need me to point out, because it's the same as always. As many times as I've heard the song, I never really paid attention to the lyrics.
No. How can it be?
Yeah, so I mean, because it's also all clean. I'm vaguely aware of what the words are. I've just never taken the time to figure out what they're actually saying. But you please have first stab at it, since it is your reaction.
Well, this song weirdly reminds me of one Russian song, which is called Wings. And there's the phrase in there like Where Are Your Wings that I like so much.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, those who are Russians or Russian speaking, they probably know the song Крылья. I think it's because of this image of someone losing the wings that was in that song and that is present in this song as well. And also for some reason, because it's called The House of Flies, so it does remind me the book The Lord of Flies.
Lord of Flies, yeah.
I don't know if it's connected or not at all, but because they were wearing those masks of there was a mask of a pig, and it feels like maybe it's kind of an extension of the book, because in the book there were young kids and these are the adults. So I don't know if it was like an intentional reference or it just appeared to be like that.
Okay.
But I think it does have connection.
What about House of Lies? Isn't that another potential one?
I don't know, what is the House of Lies?
I don't even know specifically, but it's just something that I've heard a number of times. So just if we're playing on titles of books, then Lord of the Flies could be one, and House of Lies could be another.
Maybe.
Just
I
throwing
don't
it
know
out
that
there.
book, so that's why I can't say anything.
Anyway, carry on.
But it's interesting how in the name, so in the House of Flies is in the brackets.
Mm.
And I'm wondering if it's in order to sort of minimize the meaning of the word change. So basically, change, but if it's change in the House of Flies, it actually doesn't mean anything.
Interesting. Cool observation.
To my mind, this whole song is from the point of view of an observer, but of someone who is observing another person suffering and enjoying that. That's why it has like this very creepy feel to it. That someone can actually enjoy something like that and even participate in that and provoke, because there are a few things. So he's not just a like a bystander. So at the beginning he's just looking, but then he does. I took you home, set you on the glass, I pulled off your wings, and then I laughed. I think that's a really cringing picture. So it does feel like he's talking about, a fly or a butterfly. I'm actually thinking, yeah, it does talk about a fly a lot here, but in my head I'm picturing butterflies. Because
carry on.
Well, because in the beginning, I watched you change into a fly. I looked away, you were on fire, and you know how butterflies fly towards the light and burn themselves.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, because what I was gonna say there was I'm getting confused between what's the positive imagery and what's the negative imagery, because if you just say out of context a fly, I immediately have a negative connotation towards it. But in the context here, the fly almost has positive connotation, like it having its wings and its freedom and these sorts of things. So that was sort of confusing me, as how can the fly be a good thing? But that would kind of make a bit more sense.
Yeah, I guess. Well, maybe it's because, again, if I connect it with the video, it wasn't, there were no positive images there at all. So even like all those well-dressed women, beautiful women, they didn't feel like they, like there is more to this beauty, you know?
They're all plastic looking.
Yeah, like they were not looking like they're out of place here. They were part of this whole wreckage, you know?
True.
So, and maybe also, like if we're talking about diminishing change, if it's a fly, so basically maybe it's a fly, not a butterfly, because for the observer, he doesn't see the beauty in it. So he's also like showing, by calling it a fly, not a butterfly, you show how not important the person is.
So I guess perhaps the negativity or the sort of darkness of it comes from both perspectives, as you say. So it's not like it's someone bad turning someone good into something bad. It's something bad and then someone bad making that something bad even worse.
No, I'm not talking about good or bad. I'm talking about just pointing out the insignificance.
Okay.
Because, you know, flies, we don't even notice them. It's not some, you know, dignified creature. At least it's not a creature that we think of as a dignified or particularly special or something like that. So it's just very, very random and very uninteresting.
Almost irrelevant?
Yeah, almost like not deserving any attention or appreciation.
Okay.
So I think at the beginning I watched you change into a fly, so I don't know, maybe it's like growing up, well, how the insect sort of turn from
Fly larvae into a fly. I
guess,
think
yeah.
that's what it's called.
That word. I definitely don't know that word. Yeah, exactly. So sort of growing up, and then immediately after growing up, flying towards the fire and damaging itself. And then it says, I watched it change in you. It's like you never had wings, now you feel so alive. So basically, once those wings are burnt away, then this person, or well, this creature, looks more alive. So basically, in suffering, this creature is more interesting than when it's, you know, flying around.
More interesting from his character's perspective.
Yeah, from the point of view of this observer.
Okay.
And well, you know, I don't know. That's also a cringing picture, but I like the insects with the wings. So if you take away the wings, they are suffering basically, and you can see them moving much, you know, frequently, which makes them look lively, which is completely messed up picture, but that's what I see here in the lyrics.
Okay.
Yeah, and maybe it's even not about like one specific, you know, fly or creature, because there is one that flew towards the fire, and then there is one that he took home and, you know, pulled off the wings himself and loved. And then it's again repeat of I watched the change in you. And then this strange passage about I look at the cross, then I look away and give you the gun and blow me away. I think this is about provocation. So giving someone the means to become something else. And blow me away in this character is just like surprise me, I think, in this verse. Or fascinate me.
I've got a different perspective there. That one feels more like the guy's from the guy's character. He was, you know, sort of damaging this other person, but now the roles have been reversed. He's given the other character, the victim to this point, has now taken their revenge essentially and hurt him back like tenfold worse.
I don't know. I don't see it this way. I see it being just a repeat of the situation.
Because I give you the gun and blow me away. That means I've given you a gun and now you shot me.
Well, maybe, but maybe it's just...
I've given you the tools, the means, the ammunition, and you've killed me with it.
I don't see it that way, to be honest. I see it like giving the gun to someone and then seeing that person damaging others.
Okay.
or just, you know, become a murderer. But it doesn't necessarily mean that he got some, I don't know, revenge. Not revenge, but for me, it doesn't necessarily mean that he suffered. The
Okay.
observer suffered from the gun. To me, it's just a continuing story of watching people turn into something they were not before, into something uglier.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it's again repeat, and I watched the changing news, like you never had wings. So I think that this also, like, satisfaction from watching others sort of go down, is because they're becoming the same level as this observer. So yeah, it's really grim picture here. But I mean, usually I would say usually I'm not a psychologist, but it seems to me that people who watch others suffer and enjoy it, they're like either psychopath or suffer themselves so much.
Just low self-esteem.
Yeah. Yeah, and like, he notices those creatures only when they become, when they lose something. Yeah.
Okay. So
What a song you liked when you were young.
very
Oh my
depressive.
God.
But as I say, I never really paid attention to the lyrics. Although, I mean, instrumentally even, it was clearly very dark. But I've always been drawn to dark music.
I don't know why.
As optimistic and happy as I am, I like to listen to dark
You just like
music.
to look to the other side, but never cross the line, never go there. look from afar.
Yeah, like the observer. But not.
Oh no!
Not provoke.
Don't compare yourself to that.
Not to push other down into darkness. Quite the opposite, in fact.
Yes.
Okay, so you enjoyed it. Would you like to hear more Deftones?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, cool. Well, I've got some ideas for some other Deftones to play Alena. A lot of stuff, the earlier stuff, like the White Pony album, stuff from around there. So
White Pony?
the album's called White Pony.
Oh my god. So it's all about animals? So these are flies,
Flies and
there is pony.
I never really thought about actually.
What else is there?
He's a pink maggot as well.
Oh my god. What is this obsession with the animal world?
I can't off the top of my head think of any others. I think it's those the only three. I'm sure I'm missing others, but anyway.
Alright.
But yeah, so give me some suggestions and we'll see what we can play Alena. There's a little surprise for Alena as well. Given how she likes a certain band, you'll know what I'm talking about if you're a regular to the channel. She's gonna just be confused and look at me with suspicion and not know what I'm talking about. But we'll see. We'll see what I'm talking about soon. See you again.
Okay, thank you for watching.